Hello and welcome back to VCT Pacific Breakdown with Lothar. That's me, the VCT EMEA analyst guy that somehow is doing VCT Pacific content. But hey, I love VALORANT, and today we'll be doing T1 versus Paper Rex. In this execute, I will be breaking down from Paper Rex. There was a spanner in the works being put by the opponents, and that threw Paper Rex off their plan. But they reacted, they were proactive, they changed and improvised what they have to do. And I would like to explain to you how they did it. The plan from Paper Rex is to go through Dish first. This is why you see two duelists coming in from the north side. The plan is to use the elevated position there to maximize the satchels and the bunny hopping potential from both of those duelists to be on site first. Then the secondary hit would go from A main. Typically, teams are doing it the other way around, so the goal here is to catch T1 off guard. Typically, when the player is coming from A main, the late hit from Dish is being guarded by the player from rope, so it's a little bit more reactive from the defenders than proactive. Now let's see what actually happens in the round. Now the three players from A main, they're gonna rely on the pressure being done by the duelists coming from the Dish side. And now when the attack from the duelists will happen onto side, it should distract the player that is standing right now in A main. So once that happens, they will push through the three supporting players for that position. The problem is right here. Saya player uses both his Roomba and his paint shoes to slow down the players from Dish, which essentially distracts the breach player. Because of that, he's currently aiming at Dish, supporting Saya player, and that leaves one player alone in A main. Obviously, Paper Rex doesn't see through walls, they don't know that, but it puts a little bit of a dent in their plan, because when we rewind towards this A side execute, you will see that only Davai is peeking through this area. How come? In a game like VALORANT, when the decision making has to be done in an instant, sometimes it's not gonna be ideal. And that's one of those situations where Davai is peeking, like wide swinging through A main against the Jet player that is, as he's assuming there's only one player here. So he's taking like a 50-50 fight that is a little bit boosted by the Steam Beacon. So maybe he has a higher odds than 50-50, right? There's also a Breach Stun that is supporting him, but he's already peeking through because he knows that he has to take the gunfight right this moment when the player from A side is being busy with the Dish players. If they hesitate, if they don't take the space on A side, that's most likely gonna be happening a rotation already through the B side, and they will not have only one player potentially on the A main. If Ban wins this gunfight, he's gonna dash away into the corridor behind him, and there's 100% chance that there's no trade, and also a very high chance of actually defending the side from the two duelists coming late from Dish. So Davai takes the gunfight and wins it, enables the entire push through down sands, and now you can see that Davai also makes sure that no one is peeking through ropes. So now all of this pressure that is happening from simultaneously three different directions completely wrecks T1. So even though Paper Rex were relying on the duelists to take the mobility from the elevated area and use the satchels to go top side, use the bunny hopping around to make sure that they distracted defenders, they had to change their game plan, and it was really successful because sometimes you just have to take the gunfights that you don't want to. Now let's jump in to a retake from T1. As you can see right here, there are very powerful ults available. The Breach and the Brimstone, but also a Killjoy ult are all available for the defenders, and that's an easy peasy for the retake. Now, to avoid that easy peasy retake from the defenders, attackers have to bait out the ultimates if possible while doing the plant. Pay attention to the Breach that is now jumping towards the side. He's gonna go towards the default corner area to start planting to kind of bait out, if possible, Carpus Brimstone ultimate. Now this will not happen, and because of that, something even more important happens from the defenders. You're gonna see a stun and paint shots combo on dice, insanely well read by the defenders, by T1, because the ping from the spike was in actual corner, and I'm almost certain that they didn't hear the change of the position from the breach towards dice, and they just read it that the player will try to avoid the Brimstone ultimate, so they changed the stun and the pain shield combo for the other plant location that was, not baited for the Brimstone ultimate. So not only T1 didn't use the Brimstone ultimate to deny the plant, but also essentially denied the plant with two other pieces of utility that are not as important as Carper's Brimstone ultimate. And now after the Brimstone smokes dissipated from Jenny, there's only one smoke left, so there was a very high chance that Munchkin can just swing after that pain shield and get an easy kill to deny the plant. Now, the patience is even more important from T1 for the later stage of this round. So now this Brimstone ultimate from the attackers, Mind Freak doesn't really want to use it. This would be a perfect utility to have it in post plant, but since they lost the spike on site, they have to use other pieces of utility to make sure that they can recover the spike and plant. So this is a necessity from Paper Rex, but it has to be sacrificed. When that happens, it opens up the site for the plant and makes sure that T1 now has to retake with the ultimate. Now this is a perfect read. Why? Now why do I say read? Well, the thing is, pay attention to Mind Freak. Mind Freak is currently in the underground, so he's making a lot of sound while going through the underground area, and that enables the defenders to choose the moment to strike. It's literally perfect, because what they achieve with this, when they know that one player is in the underground, he is not gonna be able to help during this retake. So from a 4v4 situation right here, we go down to a 4v3 situation because Mind Freak, the defenders don't know which player it is, but Mind Freak is not able to help because he's giving away sound cues that he's running in the underground area. So now the smoke from the defenders make sure that they can just go through the area of Jenny to cascade with the ultimate from Breach and take the side while they have the possible advantage. The moment is just very well read by T1 and enables Saya player to double satchel on site. The flash, as you can see here, is gonna go towards the tower right here from Zeta, goes towards the tower to make sure that the player on site cannot be traded when Saya player takes this site. And it's really awesome how aggressive they're taking this space, but also how decisive they are with their decision making. Well played, T1. Hope you all enjoyed this VCT Pacific breakdown with me, and see you guys next time.